husband says he's upset with me because, in his words, "Sweetie, you need to stop spending so much money on DoorDash. Ordering it 3 times a day is not appropriate, and we need to start living within our means." Honey, it sounds like you have an income problem, not that I have a spending problem. Start earning more money and we won't have these issues. So I took his credit card that we share, and I booked a vacation for my daughter Richard and I. We're staying in a hotel tonight, and I hope he enjoys that I charged $8,000 to his credit card. Make more money, darling.
Hey, listen. You didn't need to post that. Why? Why did you post it? It's too late now to delete it. Now we just have to live with it.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Everywhere you go, you're an anomaly! You're the original anomaly! And all this time, I have been the only one holding it all together!
Miguel, go easy on him!
You don't belong here. You never did. Has no idea what he's doing!
And I'm about to do this. Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
War isn't a game, girl.
That's funny. Soldier 76 said the same thing.
You spend your second chance at life walking a lonely road. No one cares, monk. Someone always cares. You must simply seek them out. I shouldn't be surprised you took his side.
You never gave me much choice. Wanna know what Martina's been up to?
Not interested.
That's not what my tracker says.
Are you ever tempted to contact your wife?
No.
Afraid she would try to kill you?
I'd be surprised if she didn't.
Your body seems to be adapting well to the changes, Gabriel.
This is what you call well.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turning on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is a video that I have not done in at least 2 to 3 years. I've touched on it on some of my other discussions. And what the topic today is about women. And of course, maybe some men do this too to some of their women. But from my personal experience and from what I usually see, women do this a lot more. And it is sharing your relationship business to your friends, social media, online, family. Family, I kind of understand. Look, I know women are social creatures. You are going to talk to someone. But do you have to talk to someone that's messy? Someone that's going to further pit out what you are telling them? In some of my cases, maybe I would not mind if she was telling the full story, because sometimes a woman will tell a story about a man. Let's say she and I got into an argument, and she told a version where we was having a discussion. She disagreed with me, and then I just walked away or I just shut down. Okay. Maybe she's leaving out that she insulted my family, say something about my pet, something about my job, got physical with me. That's why my last video was about women that can be abusive. And when I was in a situation like that, when it would escalate, and not to say it was all her, because let's say it was something that she had a good reason to be upset, something I didn't tell her or I didn't share, and she just happened to find out, or she saw a text message, she saw something that got her livid. And then we got into a discussion. Then I acknowledged, okay, I was wrong, but I just didn't want you to flip out. And it kept going in the negative direction. And then eventually she said something to hurt my feelings or low blow or insult someone close to me or my profession. And then I fired back and say something to her. Then she got physical, maybe hit me, threw something at me, and then I just decided to leave. I think in those cases right there, and I probably could have handled it in a way of, yo, chill the hell out, or either we are done. I don't think I ever said that. I just kind of tanked it and then left, walked around for a while, and then came back. As I believe I say in that, oh, that wasn't my last video. It was the video before about the abusive girlfriend. And I know men can be abusive too. That happens a lot as well. I'm just talking from the man's perspective because a lot of times men do not share when that is happening to them. And as far as sharing personal business, if my friends or family was asking me something about the woman that I'm with, my wife or my girlfriend, I would be vague. Now, maybe they can tell with my facial expression that I'm a little upset. And I have to give them something because they'll keep asking me, like, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? And I could simply say, okay, well, we're just going through a rough time right now, or we got into an argument, not getting into specifics. So that's not to say that men do not share things about their relationship, but they do not go usually in depth. And for those that would say, I talk about my past relationships as an example for men not to go down that road. Yeah, I do that now. Part of me does it to be petty in a way because I held all that stuff in. And meanwhile, they put all that stuff out and we went through so much stuff. I'm talking about some of the relationships that I was in that got a little toxic, especially the one I was with the longest. So I always use that as examples of how not to be as a man, and maybe advice to the women that want to hear. But I picked that for men that if they are in this situation, get out. I have a video by Alexander Grace that I'm going to share right now. And I may not play the whole thing because some of the stuff that he's talking about gets a little bit off what I'm talking about right here, but it does cover the issue that men have that almost no man brings it up. I rarely see a video talk about this particular thing. That's why I'm And Alexander actually reminded me. So let's go.
Oh my god. What? What? It keeps going? What? You can't send a picture. No. Holy shit.
You know that sense of duty that you feel as a man to protect a woman's privacy and uphold her dignity? You know, keep intimate details about her to yourself, use discretion, don't share private information with your friends. Well, it turns out many women do not feel that same obligation to men. That private message that you sent just to her about your thoughts and your feelings, that's just become a source of entertainment for her and her friends. When women said to men, "We want you to open up and share more," men did not realize it was so that she would have more content and entertainment to share with her friends. And this is
Okay. And let me add something to this right here. I'm seeing women online say men should be more open and open up their feelings. And I will also see women say that a man shouldn't. And these are the women that are advocating for men and pointing out bad things with women. Because it was two creators I came across, one in particular that I do like some of her content. She was saying that's one of the things a man should not do to a woman, especially, I guess, the first 3, 6 months, maybe up to a year. Do not share your personal feelings or fears. Now, not to be literal. Obviously, if you dislocate your shoulder or hurt your ankle or something like that happen, yeah, obviously you can tell her. But if you are going through some real trauma, people are dropping off in your family, maybe you should not tell her that, because in front of your face she will be like, oh, that's so bad. But and this is what I believe happens when she goes and starts talking to some of her other friends. They'll put an idea in her head. Let him continue.
It's normal for lots of women. They show each other the texts that men send and they have a big laugh. It's just assumed that everything that you send her, everything that you tell her, is going to be traded amongst her friends for social currency and amusement.
Alright, I'm not trying to expose all the girls, but I have to tell you something. I just have to. Listen, to the boys who don't know this, okay? When you're texting a girl, you're like in a talking stage, whatever's going on. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. And you're texting her, guaranteed, I'm not even kidding right now, she is screenshotting that and sending it to her 7 best friends in a group chat. I'm not kidding. Guaranteed. Screenshot, send, as soon as she sees it. All of them are helping her formulate a response. All of them are seeing what you're sending. I'm just letting you know, if you didn't know already, which you probably do, but if you didn't, when you're texting a girl, when you're dating a girl, you're dating 7 girls at the same time. You're dating her entire friend group, okay? They know more about you than you've ever wanted anyone ever to know, okay?
Men don't understand this behavior because fundamentally we are wired differently. Men think independently. We don't date by committee. When a man needs to decide if he likes somebody, he consults his own mind, his own values. When a woman navigates this process, she talks to her friends. Why? Isn't she capable of making up her own mind? Doesn't she know what she wants? Why does she need the approval of other women? Yes, part of it is security. Does this guy seem safe to you girls? You know, that's legitimate. And another part of it is seeking advice. What should I do? How should I text back? But another huge factor is pre-selection, only dating men that other women find attractive. She sends a man to the committee because she needs to see whether or not her other friends approve. Men tend...
Okay. The only thing that I would disagree with, well, not really disagree with Alexander, but I do not think this applies to Chads and Tyrones or thugs, motorcycle gang, those type of bad guys right there. That is why sometimes I believe I've dated bad girls. Okay? Because it seems like they think a little bit more for themselves. Yet, I can't see longevity in us being together. But at least they can think for themselves. The women that are nicer, more feminine, not all women, but a lot of women that's falls along that particular thing there that you would think, hey, that's a woman that I think I can grow with. That is the exact woman that's running to her friends, not just her girlfriend. See, he's shown one thing right here, and I believe mostly young white women do this. I don't think women on each stage does this particular thing. Yet, I believe a lot of women do look to their friends when that man does not straight jump out at them and make them feel something. I think that's the only way to override this bullshit right here.
To be a lot more lone wolf in nature. They don't understand how communal the female mind is. So in this video, I want to challenge your thinking with an idea that you may never have considered before. What if, for many modern women, the entire purpose of dating is not actually to secure a man? What if instead, her underlying purpose is to bond with her friends? That's her true motivation. Sound crazy? Well, I want to introduce you to the concept of co-rumination, because once you understand this, you're going to understand women a lot better. Co-rumination is a social bonding process that little girls experiment with, and women carry it through with them right through to adulthood. In this research, they defined co-rumination as extensively discussing and revisiting problems, speculating about problems, and focusing on negative feelings. In the study, they found 3 key findings. Number 1, girls do this a lot more than boys. Number 2, this helps girls create closer friendships. And number 3, which should not surprise anybody, it leads to a lot of internal anxiety and emotional difficulties. Understand that you as a man, you view unpleasant feelings and situations in a negative manner, something to be avoided or overcome. For women, negative feelings serve a very useful purpose. It helps them bond with other women. It's co-rumination. Vulnerability and pain are a currency that women trade with each other to gain trust and favor. When something bad happens to a woman in her relationship or in her dating life, it's only bad from the perspective of her romantic prospects, but it's also a bonding opportunity for her and her friends. Silver lining. And this is why women often lean into drama. They lean into the pain and suffering, because it helps ingratiate them with other women.
What do you mean?
This is not an expression of genuine emotion. There is nothing authentic here. This is a performance done for her friends. This is what so many women do. They exaggerate the suffering and the drama and the pain that's being caused to them by men because it ingratiates them with their friends. Women are even hosting events where they collectively bond with each other over how mean men are.
Meanest things boys have said to us.
We need to work on making you less sensitive.
Men, you have to be aware of the way that the female mind works, because otherwise you're not going to know what's motivating her. Is she interacting with you because she likes you, or does she just want a funny story to share with her friends? You're texting back and forth because you think that she likes you, that she finds you attractive, but actually she's only texting back because she's with all of her friends, laughing, enjoying themselves at your expense.
On my way. On my way. Thanks for the heads up.
So funny because, he thought that she liked him, thought they had a date, so he got ready and was coming to see him. That's funny because she's not interested. You made that so fucking dehumanizing. Men being reduced to props for the entertainment and amusement of women. If the genders were reversed, no way this would fly. Men couldn't pass this off as like funny, cute content for TikTok, but for some reason, because the victim here is a man, no one cares. And even if you find a good woman who is feminine, who's kind, who likes you, you may discover that whether or not the two of you end up dating is entirely conditional upon her friends' approval. Female friendships are weird, man. They experiment with allowing each other to have control over each other's lives. It's a way that they develop trust and intimacy. From my male point of view, the whole thing seems toxic and codependent. But to the female mind, that kind of interconnection makes her feel safe. Now, the reason why her friends interrogated you when you first met them, the reason why they feel so comfortable demanding answers from you, asking you to prove yourself, it's because they genuinely feel entitled to have a say over how their friend lives their life. Shout out to the high quality women who don't indulge in this nonsense. You ladies are awesome. It's a green flag for any woman who says to her female friends, I appreciate your concern, but I've made my choice. You all need to respect my judgment. This is my decision. Beware of those women who place the opinions of their sisters above their own, because if her female friends ever become unhappy in their relationships, that dissatisfaction quickly becomes contagious. And if your wife has not developed the appropriate immunity, then suddenly your marriage could be vulnerable.
I'm telling you, as a divorce lawyer of over 40 years, your wife's friend is telling her how great it is to be free. And you need to watch out because divorce has a ripple effect. When one couple gets divorced, all of their friends are forced to look at their own relationships.
This all begs the question, what signs should you be looking for from your girlfriend's friend group? Is it good if she has lots of friends, or is that a red flag? Is it good if she's close with her friends, or should she be more distant? How do you engage with her friends? What are some practical strategies? For the rest of this video, I want to move beyond the theory and go into practical advice. How to take this information and use it in a practical way to benefit your dating life. If you'd like to see the full version of this video, then please come and join me on Patreon. What you see here posted on YouTube, these are just the shortened abridged versions of my videos. The full versions are available on Patreon.
Okay, so you can see his full synopsis on this particular thing at his Patreon, Alexander Grace. I'm going to fill in the gaps with my personal experience with women having friends that's in the business. I don't think it's a problem when women have friends. It depends on the type of friends that she has. If she has friends like this.
Girl, tell me what he, for my birthday, all he got me was some flowers and balloons. Like, I could do so much better. Ugh. What? He only got you that? I mean, I got a good job. I look good. I got a house. Like, men looking for women like me. For real. Girl, you is so fine. These men will be crawling all over you. For real. You know what? You're right. You know what? I'm dropping him. I'm about to go out there and get me a real man. Yeah, girl. That's right, girl. You leveling up.
2 weeks later.
Why you ain't tell me dating was so hard? I was just telling you what you wanted to hear. These streets is hard, girl. You should have held on to what you had.
Yeah, because if she has a friend like that, or especially a bunch of friends like that, it's not going to work for you. Okay? And of course, we come to guy friends. Now, of course, though, there's a segment of men that will definitely say men and women cannot be friends. I believe we can be friends. We just cannot be, well, at least on the man side. I don't think it's good that that woman becomes my best friend. Now, if she thinks I'm her best friend, then fine. But I always think if somebody's calling you their best friend, that must mean y'all share a lot, y'all do a lot together, y'all spend a lot of time together. I often think when a woman announces that a man is her best friend, why ain't you dating this dude? Unless if the guy is gay. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Still, if the guy is heterosexual, he's into women, is he scared to make a move? And let's say maybe they were always friends. I always think somebody likes someone though. What if that guy gets a girlfriend? 70% of the women that is dating a guy do not want that man to have a woman best friend. And of course, they'll say, oh no, well, a guy can't have a woman best friend because obviously he's going to be thinking about sex. Okay. If we go with that argument right there, because I saw a video, I cannot find it, and I'm going to eventually do something on that particular video. If that's true, then that means the woman that has a guy best friend is almost the same thing. Even if she's not thinking of it consciously right now, still, as I say, people are usually building the groundwork with a connection. Just in case this doesn't work out, they can slide on to the other one. You will not change my mind on that one because I believe, especially in women's cases, most of them are survivors. And we're getting off on another thing here. The video that I did years ago, I had a bunch of clips that definitely covered the thing of women opening up their mouths about the relationship that they are having with a man to their friends, other men, family. Once again, I understand, but look, you have to be able to think for yourself. Okay, same way as men do. And that's the one thing, whether a man is with the wrong woman or the right woman, once his heart is set on that woman, nobody will be able to tell him otherwise that he can do better or should just leave her. I think with women, unless if you make her feel the butterfly effect, you're a superstar. Justin Bieber, Chris Brown. Look, I couldn't think of anybody's name. A sports athlete or something. Unless if you one of those guys that's making her wet down there or her heart flutter, I think you will not be immune to her friends being in your business. And this is why the only way I will get really serious with a woman again, unless if she's a woman that has few friends. I have met some women like that, and most of them are older women, and I'm going by what they say. Now, for some reason, they have that effect. They don't get along with other women, but I see why, because they think more for themselves and they're not in that hive mentality type of thing. And plus, they are attractive, so they get men attention. Of course, though, they know a bunch of men. And once again, I don't think it's bad when a woman does have man associates. It's just when they are spending a lot of time together, especially if she's telling y'all relationship business to that dude that probably likes her, especially if she's attractive. Okay. So women, I wish y'all just cut that shit out right there. Men, if you have a woman that's chatty Cathy, even if she just has one friend that maybe she tells things to, but that woman right there is really messy, telling everything to everyone. Stay away from that woman. Stay away from that woman. Try not to even start. See, the smart women will be, you won't even know that they have friends like that. It'll be like one of those things of, and almost everybody does this particular thing. Both genders, people of different sexualities, they will show you their best side, hide any negatives, whether it's friends or family or whatever, and have you two in this love bubble until they believe they secured you, and then you will start meeting the people. And by then, maybe you have feelings attached, or you're like, oh, well, I don't like her friends, but I love her. Look, I did that game, and it ended horribly for me eventually. Not in one night, not in 1 year, but years later, I can always go back and think, damn, it was this red flag, other red flags, and this is a red flag that I wasn't doing. I wasn't running telling another woman our shit, okay? I was barely even telling other men our stuff. And case in point, she was telling a friend of mine that was the best man at my wedding. I'm talking about my ex-wife. She was telling him our relationship business, I guess, to be an intermediary between both of us. And I didn't see nothing wrong because a lot of times we would all just chill together at times. Years later, she told me he hit on her. And to this day, I still don't know when that happened. When did he decide to hit on her? So now I have that thing now. It doesn't matter who the dude is. Do not be telling another man our shit if we are together. Now, if I'm just smashing you and we're just talking or friends with benefits or something, then fine, we'll do that. But if we are supposed to be in a loving relationship, if you can't talk to me and I can't talk to you, then maybe we shouldn't be together. So that's all that I have to add to that. Give me a like and subscribe. Have a good night. And keep y'all business in-house. The more people that's in the relationship, or if you as a man, you feel like you're not just dating her, you're dating her whole friend group, then just get out of that situation. Unless if y'all have a lot of mutual friends. That's another way that can work as well. Why is this shaking? Have a good night.
So I'm at the Regina airport right now. I'm flying to Vancouver this weekend. And these women beside me, they've just met each other and they are having the most intense conversation. The one is telling the other that she is very attracted to her husband's brother, that he is the hottest man she's ever met. She is opening up her phone and showing this other woman who she just met pictures of her super hot, what would he be to her? Like brother-in-law? And then the other one is saying, well, why didn't you marry the brother? And she's saying stuff like, because he doesn't have the money. You got to marry the money. And the other one's like agreeing, oh, well, yeah, because that makes sense. On behalf of my gender, I just apologize. Just generally apologize.
Dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boss. Some money, dropping on my money. Drop some money on a sister, yummy, yeah. Tricking, but I buy the things I like. More, buy, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money.